I would like to preface this video making it known that I am a fan of Patrick Bet David. I love how he coordinates his panels. I like how he deals with the people on the panel. Am I a fan of the Zionists on his panel? Uh what's his name? Adam? No. Is PBD himself a Zionist? I just found out. Yes. Even though he's a Christian, he is a Zionist. And I don't know if he's a Zionist because he places business as such a high priority, but he just had a genocidal maniac on his platform. He platformed a man that has killed rough estimates million people, or like up there, mainly children. BB. He platformed BB. But now they are going to publicly humiliate and try to verbally lynch Andrew Tate for just being in the proximity of people party. There were thousands of people there partying in the clubs. There was a lot of people in the van. These are his intimate groups of friends. When you're someone like Tate, when you're someone like Fuentes, you don't have any real friends. It's very rare that you can find any of your peers to spend time with. It's not like you can just go join another group. No one's going to take you. I know, because I find myself running into that wall. You have to learn that. You have to learn to love yourself. You're going to have to be one of your own best friends. After a certain point of putting yourself out there on the internet and having these conversations, you're just not going to win any popularity contests. I've learned that, but I learned that years ago. Some of these guys are new. I've seen Andrew Tate go through hell, go to prison, be exonerated, have his name dragged through the mud, and he persevered. I never seen him flinch. He didn't blink. He laughed at Romanian prison. But then to watch him be so afraid of what some people, some Zionists or some club owners, what they think about him down in Florida, to then watch this panel on PBD kind of like dogpile him, and then watch him flinch and backtrack and never let them know you're scared. You're supposed to be Cobra Tate. You're not supposed to be afraid of anything. The worst thing you could have just said was, or the best thing you could have said was, it's a song. They don't like that I listen to the song. That's too fucking bad. I'm an adult. I do what I want to. I'm there. I'm with my friends. I make no apologies for anything. I don't go to your groups. I don't go to your events. It is what it is. It's a song. You don't like the song. You don't like the song. But there's no way you can be mad about this song about a man who passed away, who used to be a leader in Germany about 100 years ago. And then you literally just had another man on your show that's doing present day genocide. There's no way you can come to me with the moral high ground, PBD, respectfully. That's exactly how he should have handled it. And they would have stopped it right there. But because he kept backing up and backing down and cowering and explaining, and he says he doesn't want to deflect, but he's deflecting. This is the only reason why they kept drilling on him. Pause. I won't even say pause. I'm not going to say no homo. They drilled him. How do you let people that who just platformed a maniac? How do you let somebody who platformed a butcher convince you that you're wrong for just listening to a song that's only about a minute and a half long? Unbelievable. But let's go ahead and play a little bit of this interview, shall we? And I'm not saying this again. I'm not saying I'm ever going to be invited on PBD. Who knows? In the future, you don't know what's going to come. Not saying I don't like PBD. The issue is people that are like I'm an America first person, right? And I'm right leaning. These other people, they consider themselves a conservatives in the United States, but they are Israel leaning. Israel and America are neck and neck in their priorities. They might say America's their priority, but we really know who butters their bread. They're not more so depending on the money from Israel. They're more so worried about being censored for saying anything that these people might not like. I've even noticed my reach has been throttled. Yes. Am I monetized? Yes. Do I get views? Yes. But was I doing thousands of views a couple weeks ago? And then all of a sudden now it's back to like a year. Yes, I'm noticing it, but I'm still going to keep making content. I'm still going to have these conversations. You can't be necessarily worried about the results, because then that's going to compromise you when it comes to the actual how good your product is, because you're worried about what's going to come out on the back end instead of just being authentic. This was basically like a buck breaking. I mean, a man as strong and powerful as Andrew Tate, if his character in this video, if this would have been who he's been like for the past X amount of years, he would have never made it to who he is of such prominence. I don't know. He faced everything in the eye. He was not afraid of nothing. And then he's the man who spoke to me directly about the Matrix. Buddy, if we're in a Matrix, those people from that country are the agents, and BB is Agent Smith. They are the Matrix. They make up the Matrix. The fact that they can make one phone call and you're banned at all why do they own so much shit around us Americans? They're not American, but they own everything to the point where they can box out Sneeko. Sneeko's over here literally having to, talk to people and see where they're going to allow him to come back. But honestly, what I respect about Sneeko is that he's saying my First Amendment rights should not be curtailed so that I can have permission to party at these establishments. I pick my constitutional rights over being accepted by this small group of people who have a disproportionate influence on too many things around Americans. But yet Americans, when we go to their country, we have zero influence. I don't like it, but Sneeko stood 10 toes down. This is the kind of friends I like. This is the kind of person I would hang out with. Myron's the kind of person I would hang out with. Nick, men who are just saying, you know what? Do your worst. I'm the same way. Do your worst. Say whatever you want to say about me, but my constitutional rights are going to be protected. That's what comes first. My right to free speech. This is what I stand on. Yes, I'm not going to make a bunch of friends, but at least I'm accurate. At least I'm honest. At least I'm not afraid to have these conversations because someone's going to try to ban me from something. To hell with that. But you know what? Let's go back. I want to show you. I know a lot of you have already seen the video. So many people are already making comments. But, and I'm not saying 6'7", and I'm not saying that, Andrew is the worst guy. I just never seen him this afraid of anything. So, and then apparently Tristan was so afraid he didn't even come on the show. So let's watch this public humiliation, shall we?
Activities going on in Miami, some songs being played, some text messages, phones blowing up. And
I didn't hear what happened.
Yeah, so there was this group of guys that were hanging out playing this song in a city, Miami, where most of the clubs are owned by this community that the song was bashing.
The song does not bash that community. The song doesn't even mention that community. The song says, all my ninjas is Nazis. That has nothing to do with them. If they want to internalize it and have main character syndrome and pretend that it's coming, no one's coming after them. They're lying. It's amazing. People say that blacks are the real Jews. Do you see how much the blacks and Jews have in common? The whole pretending to be the victim while you victimize everybody else. They literally follow the same playbook. It's complete nonsense. I see through it. But you can't call out the black shit without calling out the J's. You have to do both. This conversation should have been no more than about 11 minutes. It goes on for almost an hour, and we're not going to listen to the whole hour. I'm going to try to just find the highlights, but Adam pissed me off. PBD couldn't stay neutral. He's a Zion. I mean, just these are the men that you think are your heroes, especially in this space of talking to people and having these deep conversations and speaking about things that aren't necessarily popular, that are more so taboo. You would consider these people your heroes, but when you understand that there are limits, how can they be your hero? How can you say, yeah, this person's a superhero, but they don't know how to swim? So as long as whatever you're trying to do doesn't involve water, that's your guy. So you mean to tell me these people are so smart about everything, but when it comes to this one country and their actions and their history of murder, there's a blind spot? You're smart about everything else. You talk about every subject just like me. You got an opinion. But yet when it comes to this one country, magically you have a blind spot. That was my issue with Charlie Kirk. I love Charlie. He was my profile picture for a long period of time. Charlie, until right before he passed away, brilliant guy about everything else on earth, magically had a blind spot when it came to this country. And soon as he started like looking at the blind spot, they smacked him. He's gone now. So I'm seeing that same thing with PBD. There's no way you could be that smart about everything else or articulate, similar to me. But when it comes to this one country that you should not have any affiliation with, because besides some business stuff, you turn a blind eye and you're going to even have the guy on your show. And now me, I'm the kind of person, if Hitler was alive, I would do an interview with him, because I believe in, you need to hear both sides. You need to hear all sides. There's so many people in history that we don't know anything about because they suppress all of their interviews, all of their speeches. You can't even share and translate and listen to these people and their thoughts because they don't want the public to actually agree with them. So think about it. I would have anybody on my show. I'll talk to anybody about anything. I don't care. I love conversations. And then, you know what? What if you guys can find common ground? They don't want you to have conversations because you might find that you guys have more in common than you do not in common. When it comes to this situation here, yes, you can talk to, of course you can talk to him, but you can't have a guy who has a history of this type of violence, but then criticize somebody like Andrew Tate over a fucking song. Are you kidding me? They were literally writing on the bombs that they were dropping on children. Are you sick? This doesn't make, listen, we're not gonna, let's go back to this part of the video. I'm gonna let you guys hear a little bit of this chastising they did to this grown ass man called Andrew Tate. I don't know, is this even really Tate, or is this the fake Tate that goes around doing all the dances? Because there's no way this is the Cobra. There's no way. I mean, there's no way in that fight he just lost, he got hit that hard that it just knocked his balls off. I would hope not.
That, by Kanye West, and then everybody reacted. As a matter of fact, why don't we do this, Tate, to just kick it off?
Sure.
Good to have you back on here.
I'm glad to be back with the guys.
This looks like the cigar lounge from Madrid.
Exactly. Yes, it does.
It's not. Let's pick a city we're in right now. We're right now in...
Let's fast forward all the niceties because they really gave him the business, bro. Hold on.
You made the news. Channel 7 Miami. So, Rob, if you want to play this clip, go for it.
People laughing and celebrating Heil Hitler and Adolf Hitler. I cannot believe we're even seeing this and witnessing Miami Beach.
So wait a minute. You guys, I remember this one thing. This group that thinks they own Miami, they used to think they fucking owned New York too, until the globalists got there. The globalists got there a few months ago. Now they're all running to Miami. You think the globalists are not going to send the Islamists down to Florida? You think the globalists are not going to literally remove every Zionist stronghold in the world? They're in Australia. They're in London. They're in all of Europe. They will also be in Florida. This hold that you have, this little bit of control, this little power you think you can wield over people, your time is almost up when it comes to this. So just FYI, they won't be able to do this for long. Why is you listening to a song? How'd that make international news? And now they just made the song by Kanye West even more popular. Don't get me wrong, it's a hell of a song. It's a hell of a song. A nigga, I used to live in Germany. I listened to Hitler's speeches. I understood the man. I translated what he was saying for my friends. You should be able to listen or talk about anyone you want to. I don't like anybody telling me as an American who I can or cannot like. That's out. I don't care. No popularity contest. I'll never go to your clubs. I'll never need to beg I'll throw a party in my own bathroom with a fucking boombox before I'm groveling to come and pay for your overpriced liquor in your little dungeon overpriced clubs. Just because you want to take away my right to speech and to like who I want to like, get the hell out of here. And I didn't know these guys had these entitlements or they had this sense of inferiority to this other group. I've never seen them behave like this. That's why this is so weird. Again, if this is a matrix that we're in, these people are agents, and BB is Agent Smith.
Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler.
Absolute disgust. Disgusted, horrified.
City leaders reacting to videos making the rounds on.
But they're not disgusted about the genocide. They're not disgusted by all the videos on X that we're watching of what's going on in the West Bank and going on in Gaza Strip. They're about the fact that they systematically, what they do is they actually, they've done a calculation using, I guess, AI, and they figured out how many calories per day is the bare minimum you can have before you're considered legally starving. And that's how much they give these people. They ration it out so that they're right above starvation. They're not upset about that. They're not mad about that, but they're mad about a song. Get the hell out of here.
Social media featuring the Kanye West song with the lyrics Heil Hitler over and over again. The same men seen in the club, known as controversial influencers, are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
Have people in our city celebrating this. Animals.
This is obviously not welcome in Miami Beach. It should not be welcome anywhere in the world.
You can go back to Israel and say who's not welcome there. This is America, Jack. You don't run shit here. You might run your little clubs and your places, but physically you're not going to be able to stop anybody from doing anything. And you guys can all come together and say, oh, you're banned. Bro, we'll build our own. We'll build our own separate where we go around you if we have to. We're not giving up our constitutional freedoms to pretend like we live in Bethlehem. I don't live in Jerusalem. I live in the United States. So, and that's the problem. People don't understand. White Americans and these people from Israel, they're not the same people. Different groups. Everybody, these are completely different groups. And these people think that they can tell us as Americans how to live and what to like. If I want to throw up the Roman salute, I'm throwing it up. I'm not going to say, oh, it's offensive. These people don't give a shit about offending me. These people literally produce and promote and distribute music that literally calls for the genocide of blacks every single day. Nothing but songs about how my gun loves to kill. Do you know all the guns all these rappers own? They all say for blacks only on there. That's a part of the culture. Matter of fact, if you're a black rapper and you make a song about killing somebody who's not black, you don't get any points for that and nobody thinks it's cool. It's only promoted for genocide. So the genociders promote the genocide, but I'm supposed to be, but I'm not supposed to want to, but I'm supposed to be hesitant to listen to a song by Kanye West about Nazis. Be honest with you, I see what was going on in Gaza as 1,000 times worse than anything I've ever seen by the Germans. And one of them is verifiable. The other one is imaginary. Two different subjects. One, you got to close your eyes and just believe and trust. One, you have to open your eyes so that you can stop believing and trusting the media. You can literally see it for yourself. It's a complete difference. Again, I'm doing these shows. There is no popularity contest for somebody like myself. You see what they're doing to Tate, Sneeko. Myron doesn't give a shit. Myron is on the side where I'm on. We're already outcasts. We're already on the outs. But people like us because we're genuine. Every day, I get more and more new people, independent people, who just appreciate my thoughts and the fact that I'm sitting here and I'll have a conversation with you and I'll just be straight up honest with you and give you my opinion. And I'm not necessarily worried about how to curate it to where it's going to monetize or make me the most money. That's not the goal. My goal really is when I do these episodes and I sit here and talk, I'm really just practicing speaking. I don't know why. I feel like in the future, I'm going to have to speak to a lot of people more often. And I kind of want to figure out how to do it. And, and this is not easy. Sitting in front of a camera with a microphone and talking, this is not necessarily, you got to like mentally be prepared for this. You need practice. So this is me practicing my talking points. But at least when it comes to this subject, anybody who follows me knows exactly where I stand. I'm America. I'm America first. I'm my Constitution first. I don't care about the feelings of these foreigners. I just don't, with their dual allegiances.
World. And by the way, I spoke to other club operators. They are not welcome in their club. How they got into this club, open arms, I want to know how.
The videos are from Saturday night. This one inside the Club Vendome.
Of course they started slavery. They still enslave people to this day. What is Gaza? It's a slave camp. It's a concentration camp. What is it? If that's not slavery, then what is? Slavery doesn't require labor all the time. It just requires dominance. You can make somebody your slave. Doesn't mean they got to go out and do labor. They're just under your complete and total control. You can control everything that goes in. Nobody goes out. They can't leave. That's slavery. That's imprisonment. Imprisonment is kin to slavery. Remember, in the United States, they ban slavery except in prison, except when you go to jail or you're in prison. Then slavery is legal again. If you're trapped in the West, in the Gaza Strip, you're not allowed to leave. That's imprisonment. That is slavery. So not only did they invent it, they're able to still do it. And if you criticize them, they hit you with the, oh, you're anti this, you're Holocaust that. Get the fuck out of here. That has nothing to do with that. The beautiful thing about people like me, right, is that there's more of us growing every single day. There's a whole new generation who in 10 years, there's not going to be zero sympathy for the people from this who believe in this monstrosity of genocide that are also hypocrites when it comes to anything else from other people. It's no one believes it anymore. They're losing all their control. And I'm not even a Mandami fan, but he's with the globalists. They are coming here to remove the Zionists. This is a war between the globalists and the Zionists. The Zionists have lost. They're holding on by a thread. They really showed their hand when they smacked Charlie Kirk. They're desperate and they're done. So, this is them trying to flex that little bit of power because they can what is it called when you they can conspire with their own people and they can try to ban it. Well, how did you get in? Well, I fucking paid to get in. What do you mean? How did I get in with open arms? It's called paying. You shouldn't block me based on my political views or my personal beliefs. I'm not hurting anyone. I can think what I want to think. Where do you think we are in Israel? Where you can control my thoughts? You don't own my thoughts. I'm an American. I think these people forget who we are. But this is a reminder.
At 743 Washington Avenue. Club releasing a statement on social media that reads in part, "We want to be unequivocally clear. Vendome and our hospitality group do not condone anti-Semitism, hate speech, or prejudice of any kind." It goes on to state, "We are deeply disturbed."
You know what's crazy? Andrew Tate, one of his other pages is called Tate Speech. And now he's on here being lectured about hate speech. He's supposed to look it in the face. He's making fun of the word hate speech by calling it Tate speech. They literally cuck him so hard right now. I mean, I hate to show it to you guys, but
disturbed by the harm caused by this incident and the circulation of this footage. The Post explains the business is looking into safeguards and procedures to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Hey, they are out of control on TPUSA. It's so obvious that they were embedded. It's so obvious that Erica Kirk is a product of theirs. She was his handler. And it was all about using him to control the evangelicals in America because they have apparently a finger on the button that needs to be released sometimes so that they can release the funds to this country and support their battles. Because, this is still a Christian majority, country. And they want that control. And when they thought that Charlie might turn his audience against them, they smacked him. They have all the motive in the world. I don't hear about Tyler Robinson and all this other fake nonsense. Let's be honest. Who has a history of this? Tyler Robinson or this one country? Let's be real.
for the men in the video celebrating the song. The mayor has.
Can pause it at this time.
I barely even see me in any of this.
Yeah.
Firstly, but I want to be very careful here because I don't want to deflect too heavily. I don't want to be blaming other people, etc. A whole bunch of songs were played that night, none of which I requested. None. I walk into a nightclub and songs are played. Unfortunately, if anything happens anywhere near me, it gets tied to my name. If someone got shot in that club, they would have said, Andrew Tate's in a nightclub where this man got shot. I didn't shoot him. I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know who the fuck he is. I was there and the song was played. The actual conversation I think that's interesting to have when it comes to this is the nature of the internet and the nature of influencing in general. Because I think we're living in a world now where only shock value seems to get anybody's attention for any significant period of time because everyone's dopamine receptors are completely fried.
Now, right now, Andrew Tate is being stern. He's speaking. He's making some really good points and good analogies. I like that. However, he should have made it. He should have vetted the conversation when he got done speaking. He said, this is the bottom line. That's all I got to say about that. It is what it is. I listen to the song. I listen to a lot of songs. I listen to songs about hurting that hurt black people. I listen to songs about from everybody. There's no difference. I don't do double standards, and I'm not going to put this country or these people's views on a pedestal over someone else's. I'm not going to do it. Case closed. Let's move on to the next topic. He should have took control of this conversation, but instead he let his guard down and he let them pick him apart like buzzards on a fucking corpse, on a carcass of roadkill in the middle of the Mojave Desert on Route 66. He let them just pick him apart. Utterly embarrassing. But watch, he started off trying to hold his own, and then it was just like somebody blew on a house of cards.
So all of these young influencers or anyone on the internet who's trying to make any name for themselves is trying to be as controversial and shocking as possible, as quickly as possible.
And honestly, we all should have our own religion. I don't need to go around a bunch of other people that believe the same thing as me to speak to God. Because if there's a piece of God inside of all of us, whenever you see certain things or you hear the word, if it's true and it connects with what's inside you, then you don't need someone else. You don't need a bunch of people there to reinforce it and remind you and tell you. Or I don't need a fucking translator. God speaks my language. We speak. So you're right. I have my own religion, and I can be the only member. I don't need to follow someone else's cult. That other group, that other side is a cult. They platform the ultimate cult leader in the world who can literally wipe out thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000 people, and people are still, he's literally wanted by the International Criminal Court, the ICC. He has warrants around the world. And the only thing that's protecting him is the United States. But I don't even know how long that's going to last, because one day you're going to wake up and that protection is going to be gone. Watch.
That's why the song was played, because it gets views. That's why. I didn't play it. I didn't ask him to play it. I didn't dance. I didn't sing. In fact, the only time you see me on there is me storming out of the bus saying this is ridiculous and leaving. But I know why it was played. It was played because of this. It was played because it gets traction in a world where everybody is bored of everything all of the time.
Listen, if you're watching this, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like the page, subscribe to the channel, like the video, so that way your friends and your family can see this. People need to be exposed to hearing another side that's not going to just agree with the mainstream people. Is Patrick Bet-David and Adam, are they on the internet? Yeah, but are they now mainstream because they just platformed BB? Fuck yeah. It doesn't get much more mainstream than that. When you can platform a mass murderer, then you are mainstream, and nobody's talking about kicking you off the internet for doing it. You're mainstream. I'm not mainstream. So if you could share the video, I appreciate all your support. Second Battalion, thank you, brother, for tuning in. Yeah, let's get back to the show, but please like the page, subscribe to the channel. Let's get back.
And that's why these young people are encouraged constantly to try and do the most shocking thing possible. You see this not just with this song. You see this on all their streams. They're running people over and doing retarded shit constantly. So I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, blame someone else. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there. And then they want to attribute somehow the song playing to me and it all being my fault.
That's a fair argument, but I'll you know, to the average person that's watching it, you know, back in the days when I'm younger, I'm in a car with a guy who I get out of the military. It's December 23rd, 97. The guy's got a bunch of pot in the back of his truck.
No way PBD is going to try to compare Andrew Tate being on a party bus with some friends listening to a song by Kanye West to him being in a car with one of his friends that was smuggling drugs. These people have lost the plot. They'll say anything to try to justify their weird, skewed view of this other country and that blind spot. They'll do anything to try to justify. Look how disgusting this is. You want to play that Andrew Tate, who got off the bus when the song was playing, is akin to you riding around with a friend with a Class A narcotic in the car, and that he was going to sell that you. What are we talking about here? Are you serious?
Cops come out, and I'm in the Army, and my guy's calling me, telling me, hey, you got to figure something out. You can't be involved in something like this.
Yep.
So guilty by association, it's the first thing they're going to say. You hung out with these guys.
There's no guilt. I can listen to a song. I can listen to any song. I can perform any song. You don't get to guilt me for my own personal preference. I do not live the way you think you can allow me to live. I am fucking sovereign. For one thing, if I was him, I'm Andrew Tate. I'm not, bro. Rico Limbaugh would flex, and I'd burn the relationship with these three guys. So you mean to tell me you're going to give me parameters that I need to behave within for us to be friends? Well, then we're not friends. Because just like I would tell a girlfriend, if you are trying to test me, I'm going to fail on purpose. You don't test me. I'm going to be myself. You can leave me alone, but you don't give me ultimatums and you don't tell me what I have to do to stay in your good graces. If you don't like me for being myself, just don't talk to me no more. But don't you dare give me a fucking hoop with fire on it and tell me, Rico, jump through this hoop and then come sit down over here because it's warm in the group. You want to be a part of the group, don't you? You want to be on the inner crowd. You want to be a part of the circle. It's warm here. There's strength in numbers. One thing I've learned about life, less is more. So there's plenty of us over here, even when there's just one or two. There's plenty of us.
When I watched the video, Andrew, with you and them, Tristan looks extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. And the way you were smiling, because I saw a lot of, everyone's texting me. You know, you and I communicate, we have conversations together. You looked extremely uncomfortable as well. You're smiling, but you're not, you know already what's going to happen. It was almost a look where I said, Tate knows what's about to happen next.
Yeah, the shock value really isn't worth it to me. I mean, I've said some shocking things and people will believe my brand is built on shock value, but I think they're at least shocking opinions. I like to.
I mean, listen, apparently Tate is planning on running for politics in Europe. I'll be honest. People in Europe are tired of the Zionists too. It's a thing. It's a movement. It's a movement. Tate should have just said, I don't care, Pat. Nobody should be texting you about me. I'm grown. You shouldn't be having, I don't need you to explain for me. I'll explain for myself. And guess what I don't do, being that I'm Cobra Tate? I don't explain shit. You know, like, you know, buy. That's what the Asian lady said on Menace to Society. You know, like, you know, buy. So guess what? If you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like what I'm doing, don't tune in. Change the channel. You don't have to follow me. Me and my fans, this is what they like, that I'm genuine. Bro, them breaking him down like this is just so embarrassing. You do not get to verbally chastise me. My father is dead. Okay, Andrew Tate should be like, my dad is dead. You are not my father. Who are you to sit here and tell me, yo, people are calling you and they said that you were looking? Who cares? It's a song. It's one song. I don't want to keep hearing about it. He should have put his foot down. Never let anybody embarrass you like this. Never let anybody grill you. You are an adult. You can get up and you can walk away. You're not in an interrogation room. These conversations are for their benefit. They're going to be the first ones to say they were able to verbally dismember Cobra Tate.
I think I'm sitting there saying, this is my opinion. You may find it shocking, but this is what I truly believe. These are my worldviews. And perhaps there's a lot of people who agree with me, disagree with me. But to just shock and offend purely for the purpose of shocking and offending, I think that that's something that has plagued the internet for a while, but it's getting worse and worse. And
the song's been out for like a year. This isn't some brand new song. And you can listen to it on, I'll play the song on stream. You can listen to it and it's banned everywhere, but it shouldn't be, because you can make songs about anything else, but yet you can't talk about Hitler, but you can talk about the Bloods and the Crips and the gangster disciples and the vice lords who literally slaughter blacks every single day in the hood. You can literally make music about that. You can make literally gang bang music all day and night, talking about how your chopper hate niggas and it shoots a lot of rounds and all. You can talk about anything like that, but yet I can't make a song that says all my niggas are also Nazis. Yeah, we walk around with choppers and shoot each other, but we're Nazis too. So you guys will draw the line at the Nazis, but you don't draw the line at the genocide in the ghetto every goddamn day. I do not like hypocrites, and I don't do double standards. I don't. I'm not going to start.
Notice it across the entire streaming world because people are struggling to get any kind of views or shake people out of apathy. And when I talk to anybody below 25 who's doing anything on the internet, their only intention is to be as shocking and therefore as offensive as possible. That's what they're sitting there thinking. How do I get every...
This is the only person I respect on the panel anymore. This is the only one that didn't sit up here and join in on this humiliation ritual and try to buck break Tate. Vinny literally just sat there and he listened. Because for one thing, he does not see the reason behind all the double standard and trying to protect the Zionists. And I'm sure he's wondering if PBD's an actual Zionist or is he just trying to keep the conversation going for the audience? He knows where Adam's is. He knows where Adam is. And he doesn't respect Adam. He deals with Adam. They work together, but they're not friends. Vinny is the only one I can say I respect up there because he didn't join in on this bullshit, because it is absolutely bull. It's absolutely BS. To sit up here and literally chastise this man for even not even listening to the song, for just being in the room. So they want to tell you can't even be in the room. Who are you who's going to stop me? That's exactly what Tate should have said to PBD and to Adam. I listened to the song, so what? Which one of you are going to stop me next time? I can play the song on my phone right now. Which one of you guys are going to stop me? And he should have put his phone on that table. Let them cut to a commercial. Because what's the purpose of me protecting a friendship if you're not really my friend? See, if you were my friend, you'd be trying to help understand how this was not nothing that's a bad thing. We're Americans. We have freedom of speech. And we can listen to music, whether you agree with it or not. It's just a song. You should have been defending me, not trying to chastise me on behalf of a foreign nation. Who the hell do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Bro, Adam, I wish Andrew would have just held his own.
Everybody can panic within 3 seconds. Otherwise, they're going to scroll past me. Mm-hmm. And that's what people are doing. That's the world we live in.
Why hang out with them?
Well, I haven't seen them in a long time. It's the first time I met two of them. It's the first time I met Clav and Nick. I spoke to them online, but it's the first time I ever met them. I hadn't seen Sneeko in a while.
You and Nick have never met each other?
Never met.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Never met.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
and the Braden guy, Clav, whatever his name is, he's new.
First time I ever met them.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, they were nice guys when I met them. You know, it's the first time I've spoken to them. I sat down with them, and I don't think they even put the song on. I have to guess. I think Sneeko may have put the song on, who I'd met many times before. But it was a long night. It was 6 or 7 hours in which, for 2 minutes of it, someone got a phone and put a song on. It wasn't me. And now it's all over the news. So I just think that the main reason this is being done is because shock value is what people are optimizing for with their content primarily. And then we can have another conversation entirely about why anti-Semitism is on the rise in the first place, because I have a theory about that also. And I think that the main reason anti-Semitism is on the rise across America, because there's no doubt about it that it is because young men are being told that Jews control the system and young men are being screwed by the system. It doesn't mean it's true. I'm not going to sit here and say that Jews completely and utterly control the system. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you tell young men that and they believe that, even if it's not true and they're getting screwed by the system, that's why people are anti-Semitic. There was no anti-Semitism when a man could afford a house. And there was no anti-Semitism when a man could get a wife. And there's no anti-Semitism when he looked around and felt part of his community. But people are so disenfranchised now with the places they're living in and the society they're forced to live within, and they feel so disconnected from everything. They've become revolutionary. Young men of the world are revolutionary. They're looking for somebody to blame. They're told it's the Jews. So that's why they're being anti-Semitic. That's the truth about what is happening.
And it's funny though, Andrew, like what's Nicholas Sneak? He's a grown man. I'm going to call him his real name. He's Filipino, Haitian, and his father is of Jewish descent. So on top of that, it doesn't make any sense. He's the Jew. So you're going to go to a town that's predominantly a lot of Jewish-owned businesses. You're technically Jewish too.
They are not the predominant. They make up less than, what are they, 1% of the American population, but 50% of the billionaires? It just seems like there's a lot of them. There really isn't.
You're playing that song, and then when you get in trouble for it, you're screaming anti-Semitism, and it's all the Jews want to.
I can't get, okay, Andrew should have made it clear. I'm an adult. I can't get in trouble. In trouble with who? With you? With who? Who am I in trouble with? I can't get in trouble. I'm a grown man, and it's not illegal to listen to music. What do you mean I'm in trouble? But because of the public, I'm Andrew Tate. People have been calling me a sex trafficker for the past 4 years. No one gives a shit. No one likes me anyway. I don't have any friends. In trouble with who? These people already hate me. They hate me already. They literally begged for Ron DeSantis to put me in jail just for being alive with no crime. Who are you talking about in trouble? What are you talking about?
Everything, and it's ridiculous. And I think in that sense too, Andrew, they use you, which I know you're upset. You have to be. They use you to play that song to be like, look who's with us. And you're right. I saw you. You walked right out. And even in the nightclub, you were kind of like, whatever. But I would be even more livid because coming from a guy that has a Jewish father, brings you in, plays the Hitler song, and then you're the only guy that's going to catch real flack for it.
Yeah, I think it was. So if I'm going to be optimistic, it was short-sighted by them. If I'm going to be pessimistic, it was certainly very, I wouldn't say they set me up, but they should have known that, this is going to cause a whole bunch of flack for me specifically.
In Miami.
Of course. But if I'm totally honest with you, I don't think that any of them are deeply anti-Semitic genuinely. And I don't think that any of them really thought it through. Honestly, I think they're just kids. I think they're just kids. It gets a reaction. They think they're funny. They're on the internet. They need a reaction. They want.
It's not even that. We've all figured out who is controlling the matrix around us here in the West. We all have talked about who controls the matrix. Then there's a song literally giving a finger to those people that control the matrix. And you don't even got to say their name directly. It's you just know who they are. You know what the song means. That's what this was all about. It's not about that. They don't need to be kids. Andrew, just like everybody else, when you break everything down, we all understand where a lot of this control and the calls for censorship and the calls for war, we know the source. So of course we're going to make a song that's by Kanye that says, my niggas Nazis, because we know the source. It's the same source of the genocide. It's the same source of all the control. It's the source of the literally draining our resources, having us invade countries on their behalf, killing off kids. We know where it came from. We know the source. So yeah, we all have that in common. Why wouldn't they play that? Nick Fuentes is there. Myron is there. Sneeko is there. That's the anthem. That's one of my anthems. That's on my playlist. I wake up and listen to that damn song. And guess what? When you come to parties at my house, everyone has to listen to it or they can leave. The point is, you can't get in trouble for it. Andrew Tate is not the only person of prominence there. If anything, he's falling out of prominence because he doesn't do the shock value anymore. And he's kind of like toning it down. While other people like Myron or myself or Sneeko, we're ratcheting up. Tate's doing less. We're trying to do more. We're going in different directions. He's not the only person there, and I hope he doesn't have main character syndrome. Again, I haven't watched this whole video. I'm just going off of just, these pieces.
Likes, and they did some fucking dumb shit. That's what I think it is. I think they're just literally retarded.
How old is Nicholas? If you don't, how old? I know.
I don't know. They're all in their young 20s or something.
I would love to agree with you, brother, but they're not all kids. By the way, nobody online or in the Jewish community defends you more online or behind the scenes than me.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that.
I had dinner with Tristan and
of course.
Justin.
Nah, Adam's a liar. That's what they do. They cozy up to you, pretend to be your friends, but they lie and they stab you in the back, bro. You can't trust a snake like Adam. And he doesn't just defend Tate all the time. Get the hell out of here. And you know what? If Vinny joins in on this little circle jerk or whatever, I'm going to, any of the praise I gave him earlier for staying out of it, I'm going to retract it. again, I didn't watch the whole video and I didn't see him saying all this little bullshit at first. So, I might have to backtrack that support for Vinny, okay?
I got the call. It's Sunday. You ruined my day. At the very least, you ruined my Sunday.
Bro, I woke
with my nephew.
I woke up. I was like, what
I
the
feel
fuck?
you. And I get a call from not one person, not everybody.
Yep.
Your brother.
Why the fuck are they calling you? Adam, you're nobody. Why would they call you? Who are you? Are you the Jewish Authority? Can you fight? Well, then why nobody should call you? You can't kick any ass. You don't run shit. You're just a talker, bro. Shut the hell up. You don't. Why? I swear to God, that would have been my next question. Why you? Like, what are you going to do about it? That's always my question. What army? Like, what are you going to do about it? If the answer is nothing, then they're wasting their breath. It's like girls that gossip. I don't. And Andrew shouldn't even play into that.
You're texting me, Justin Waller, the club owners, the DJ, everyone, the mayor,
the bathroom attendant.
Like the bathroom attendant, I tip him good. He called me.
Who's Cuban? But
they're not all kids. We know Myron's almost 40.
Yeah.
You're almost 40.
Yep.
Tristan's 35.
Yep.
This ain't kid stuff. So what I think is I actually believe you. You think I'm going to wait for 5 years of working with you, friendship with you, to throw you under the bus last minute? That's not how we roll. But
yet when it comes to Israel, here you are. When it comes to the Zionists, here you are. All those, you guys have soul. You guys are all just alike. Think about it. Look at how Ben Shapiro just did not just Candace, but the other woman who was literally saying that Candace was not really being offensive. He threw 10 years of friendship and camaraderie working together on the right. He threw it all down the drain because she refused to condemn Candace Owens and believe these lies that he told her up front. Because she says, I went and fact checked Ben and looked it up, and she didn't do anything like that. Actually, she did the exact opposite of what he said. They don't really like you. They huddle around each other. It's like they're like a part of a hive mind. One of them said they're like a family, but there's really a hive mind. They don't really care about you. They're not really your friends. And they'll throw your friendship away in a heartbeat if you step out of line. But what they do is they pretend to be your friend so that they can get close enough to you to manipulate you and mold you and control you. That's why I was wondering, why does PBD even keep Adam on the show? But Adam has woven his way around PBD so much. PBD PBD wasn't always like this. He wasn't always a Zionist, not 3 years ago, but now he is. And Adam just being around them, his little pet, it tainted him.
I think Sneeko played the song.
Yeah.
I think Tristan explicitly told me that Sneeko played the song. I think when you sort of diffuse the situation, they're kids being kids.
They absolutely circle money around themselves. They are not worried about anything to do with anybody else. Their bottom line is the ultimate bottom line. Look at how these guys are talking on this panel. There's only one agenda and one bottom line, and that's the one that's whatever they say it is.
Myron, who, you know how much time we've spent with Myron.
Yep.
That ain't no kid stuff.
Well,
you know what? You're right. The Rothschilds is another one of their names. You got to think about it. Even our entire medical curriculum created by the Rothschilds. The fact that you believe in fossil fuels, the fact that you think oil comes from extinct dinosaur bones, Rothschilds. Everything you think you know about space and all, it all reverts back to this elusive family called the Rothschilds that are of the descent of the Zionists. All of them. And people don't want to have these conversations because it's unpopular and they're so worried about, that's a good thing. I hope I never make money doing this. I hope I don't, because you can't miss what you never had, right? What if you all of a sudden start making money doing these kind of like talking on the internet or whatever, and then you start depending on it and you start like neglecting your actual business and your day job. And then they threaten to take this all away from you if you say one more thing you're not supposed to. Do you know how hard that is for somebody like me to do? Like, I'm not about to stop talking or being able to speak freely because I'm afraid to lose some money. Fuck it, take the money. That's why I say you don't really want the money, because with the money comes control, just like credentials. Think about how many different degrees you can get that are worthless. The only thing those degrees are good for is that they can say, oh, 10 different people agree, 10 scientists agree, and they'll put your name down and your credentials, but you're being paid to just say you agree. Not because your credentials actually earn you a career that makes money. You're just paid to go along with whoever's paying you tells you to go along with. At one point in time, there were 10 doctors agreed that smoking cigarettes while you were pregnant was good for the baby's development. Those were men with degrees. They would use your degree to get people to think that you're the authority because you sat in a school and you were able to pass the test and you were able to stay there for years on end without questioning anything. But yet that's supposed to mean you're smart? No, the fact that you need money now because you wasted all those years in school means that you are easy to control. That's why they want to refer to you. But I'm not supposed to, but I'm supposed to still believe they're the moral authority. Yeah, all right.
Byron's not a kid, and he's a really good friend of mine.
I agree.
And Byron's not a kid. You're right. I don't know if Sneeko played the song. Sneeko played the song. I'm telling you from my perspective, and I don't want to make it something.
But how do you feel about that?
You know what? And you're absolutely right. If history repeats itself, they will try to take it all. The good thing is I built myself independent, and I don't have to kiss their ass. I don't have to work with them that often because it's all about control. And everybody doesn't have. I got lucky. I got really lucky in life, and I'm very fortunate. I'm a lucky man. But a lot of people are like you, as you know, Second Battalion, they're beholden to these people. Look at Andrew Tate. I didn't think he was beholden to anybody. I did not. I've seen him speak out against the genocide in Gaza on Piers Morgan and Whoop Pierce. Where's that strength? Where's that bravado? I don't see it. I don't see it anymore.
Because let me ask you a specific question.
Sure.
Do you know how much time I spent with your brother and Justin Waller at 9 o'clock on Sunday? I left at 3 a.m. Serious conversations, laughs. Of course, we're having Blue Label.
Yeah.
And Tristan, in my perspective, is like, dude, I'm done with these people. That's my perspective. I'll let him speak for himself. But he told me,
you know what? They've listen, I'm not a person of perfect prominence in the first place. I'm to be ruined. Who am I? I'm a flawed man. I like to look at girls that kiss girls, and I go out and party with my friends and get drunk. I'm a club owner. I own another little business and this and that. Bro, I'm already destroyed. I'm not a pastor. I'm not, a camp counselor or some kind of like moral authority. I'm like the opposite of any of that. But the thing is, if they could, right? If I was somebody that was afraid of my reputation being harmed or what people think, then I would never touch one of these microphones. I would never get in front of a camera and have these conversations. Do you know how many people I know would never do this because they're too afraid of the consequences if they do something wrong? Do you know what kind of fear that is? Do you know, and I don't have the spirit of, I wasn't born with the spirit of fear in me. And I see people and they're like, like I get messages from people, right? They'll send me emails. Like my friends in Europe, I understand why they can't have these conversations because they'll be arrested. They can get at one video with me, they'll get a knock on their door and they'll be arrested. If you live in Germany, if you live in the UK, they will literally come to your house if you're having a conversation candid with me about politics or about immigration even. So I have these conversations. I speak on their behalf. But there are other people who are Americans who have free speech like no other on earth. And they are deathly afraid of the opinions of other people and being put out of whatever cult they're in. Because it's like a lot of people are a part of a different cult. These guys are a part of the Israel cult. Then you got people in the black cult. Then you got the gay cults. Then you got the Arab cults. Then you got the Hispanic cults. People assume that I'm just going to be a part of the Hispanic cult or the black cult. I've been kicked out of all of them. I literally have to start my own circle, and that's with you guys in my audience. I'm kicked out of everyone because I won't just say whatever they want me to say for the sake of getting along. If that was the case, I'd be married. If I could just say what needed to be said to make somebody happy, I'd be with my ex that was from my old ex. I couldn't do it for her, and I loved her. I couldn't do it for her. I just can't. If I have to lie to you so that we can keep things cool between us, then shit's not going to be cool. I'll literally alienate myself and just hang around a bunch of dogs. I do dog rescue for fun. I got a dog snoring right behind me right now. I hang out with him before I sit up here and have to lie to people to make friends. We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to do, somebody's got to stop. Somebody has to break people out of it, and somebody has to throw themselves into the fire. And if that's me, then you know what? I'll put on my shades and I'm just going to go out there and, I'll burn up for everybody. I'm going to do it for the sins of my circle. I'll be the first one to take the arrows, if so be it.
The story about your grandfather.
Yep.
Who served in World War II. Yes?
Yes.
The American.
Oh, man, I'm extremely difficult, bro. If you saw my personal Instagram page that I put the videos of me partying and girlfriends and drinking, bro, you blackmail me with what? I put all my business out there. I put everything on the internet. I've literally had my own show that's 10, 12 years running consistently. There's nothing nobody could ever blackmail me with or hold over my head, or I'm going to tell this, and you're going to be so ashamed of it. Bro, I don't have any mystery in my history. There was never some time in band camp where me and some dude, there's nothing like, there's no mystery in my history. I've been thorough this whole time. So, but that makes me a target. But see, I realized that about myself. So I said, it's my duty, not just because Scott Adams passed away, but it's my duty because a lot of people can't do what I do. See, at one point in time, I was destroyed on the internet and trolled. And it was by people, it was by all these white liberals and a lot of Zionists. And it was over animal rescue. They felt like I was affecting their donations because I was telling people, hey, instead of just blindly sending money to rescues that are not even pulling the dogs, why don't you work with people with Rover and work with people that do networking, pull the dog, send it to a dog sitter, use the donations to pay the dog sitter instead of just letting it go to some rescue that's pocketing the money to pay their, to pay their board of directors. And then that way you can save more dogs. And I said, look, I'm not going to make any money doing it. I'm going to spend my own money and I'm going to make videos doing it. Saved hundreds of dogs. Was driving all over California doing it. People used to take my pictures, put them on stick figures, make documentaries, trolled me to death. I went to war with these people. I'm talking, it literally was, it was crazy. I was like, if this is what they're doing over animal rescue, and that was the baddest it could ever get, they'll do it over other stuff too. So I've been through the hellfire and I made it out alive. That made me stronger. Now my skin is so damn thick, I can't get insulted. I've already been insulted. It's kind of like when you get sick from something, you can't get sick from that same thing ever again. That's where I'm at. So they're going to try. It's just not, good luck to them, but it's not going to work.
Yep.
What would your grandfather say about that? A neo-Nazi symbol who fought the Nazis.
Yeah.
That is not a neo-Nazi symbol. It's actually the Roman salute. And he's misinterpreting it. He wants to pretend that he's a victim of bro, there's no neo-Nazis. Your odds of being killed by a neo-Nazi are like 1 in 300 million. Your odds of being killed by a regular black gangbanger who's trying to mug you, Alan, are like 1 in 5. Your fear it's unsubstantiated by reality. But let him finish his bullshit.
I understand. And we have to be very, very careful. I understand exactly what you're saying. I agree that is offensive to many people. I totally understand it. And
I don't understand it. I don't see how that can be offensive to anyone. I see people that pretend that they're offended because they want to generate victimhood. And that's another way of manipulation, of convincing me to not question them or mention them. I'm not falling for it. There's nothing I should be able to do, a hand gesture that should be offensive to you. If I'm giving you the middle finger, you might find that offensive or you might not. But that's I don't see it. I don't. And Andrew Tate shouldn't be conceding to that, because this is what's fueling the PBD cast to finish castrating him and just pulling him apart.
I'm not here to get myself.
It's offensive to Americans.
Well, yes.
Forget about just Jews. American lives died fighting.
100 years ago, none of that is offensive to us now. The Nazi salute is not offensive to Americans today. We don't care. You care because you see it as a way of controlling us by using you're trying to guilt shame us with about the World War II when we literally saved you people. And you want to guilt shame us to still hold a grudge for what? We won. The Germans are a part of NATO. You know what? Why would we? What are you talking about? Like, it's complete bullshit.
Nazis.
That's true. That's true.
Your grandfather's friends died fighting Nazis. That, to me, Jews or not Jews, Americans went to war against Nazis. This is an American thing. I wear an American flag pin, not an Israeli flag pin, not a global flag pin, certainly not an LGBT flag, American flag pin.
Yep.
My grandfather fought in World War II.
Yep.
So to me, this is anti-American. And I'm cool with Myron. I used to be cool with Myron, but how am I going to hang out with that? How are you going to hang out with that?
I've known Myron for a very long time. He's been a great friend of mine. And I have to.
That's good. At least he didn't throw Myron under the bus or shit on Myron. And Adam wanted him to so bad. I'm glad he didn't.
Make this very clear to the world. I have a whole bunch of friends who do a whole bunch of shit that perhaps I would not do myself, or I may not 100% agree with. But that doesn't mean they're not my friends, and I don't speak to them. I have to be honest here, guys. I'm really not trying to do some big apology tour. And the reason for that is because I really didn't do anything wrong. So I want to make this clear. I understand why some people were offended. I understand they want to attach it to my name. I understand that it gets clicks in the media if you say Andrew Tate did X, Y, Z. I got on a bus. Full-grown men made decisions while I sat on my phone.
Why do you got to keep repeating yourself? This is so far either the third or fourth time he's said that what happened, that he got on the bus, they were already playing a song, he got off the bus. Why do you got to keep repeating yourself? Bro, stand your ground. Don't let men grill you. If men want to grill you, tell them to fight you first. And then if they beat you in the fight, then you can ask me as many times as you want the same thing, but you should not no. We're men. We're men. This conversation, I'm not going to keep repeating myself. Is this a fight? Well, then what are we talking about here? You're not that mad. If you're not willing to fight me about it, then you're really not that mad. Give it up and leave it alone. But you shouldn't have to keep repeating yourself like this.
I then got off the bus and stood in a nightclub while other people played songs while I sat on my phone. If they want.
Exactly, bro. Why does he keep repeating himself? And I think that he's already studied the laws of power. And it's like he just forgot all of his training. It's like just being she's so afraid of this group of people in this one country that even a man as grounded and pragmatic as Andrew Tate starts to stutter and fumble. Like, come on, dude.
Want to crucify me for that? That's up to them. Myron made the Nazi salute because he thought it was funny. That's Myron to come here and defend.
Of course.
It's not for me to sit here and come here and defend. Myron is someone I know and I respect and I like. Even if he did something that offended me, even if I found that offensive, I would still say, oh, okay, well, I like Myron. I have a whole bunch of friends who do a whole bunch of things that I don't like. I have black friends, white friends. I have every single type of friend you can have. We have the most racist group chat in the world. This is the world I live in, right?
My group chat is horrific with the racism. I love the racisms. I think the shit's funny as hell. So yeah, that's the kind of group chat I want to be in. If Andrew wants to add me to his group chat and he sees this video, God forbid, one day, I hope he doesn't take this as offensive. This is just me, a nobody, giving him my opinion about what they did to him on this stage. And I don't need to be anyone special to have an opinion. Anybody can have an opinion. So, but in my opinion also, if he wants to add me to that group chat, I can contribute in ways that I'm sure he would be amazed by.
And I think that the reason the anti-Semitism issue is so sensitive is, one, because of the prevalence, especially online. And I'm not going to lie, I see it everywhere myself. I'm not even Jewish. It must be scary to see it absolutely everywhere online. The reason for that, I've just given you my theory as to why. That's the first.
It must be scary to read stuff online. Imagine you being afraid of something you read on the internet. That's where your fear comes from. You're that weak and pathetic that words on the internet from strangers, it makes you scared. That is, bro, the spirit of fear is un-American, in my opinion. Our forefathers didn't have it, or this country wouldn't have been here. The explorers, what is it, Lewis and Clark, were they living by fear? No. That is the most, bro, we are Americans. We fight to the death. Fear is what we eat for breakfast. Fear is what we consider fun. We literally go to parties in America where we know the party's going to get shot up. We still go just because there's girls there and it's fun. The spirit of fear is not in everybody, but imagine you're not even worried about getting shot at a party. You're just worried about coming across some words that scare you on the internet. That is the weakest shit I've ever heard anybody try to explain.
Mm-hmm. Second thing, of course, was World War II, and a lot of people died in the name of defending Jews. Of course, I understand that completely. But then thirdly, and I'd like to have an actual open and honest conversation about this. Don't we think, and I actually want your opinions, the fact that a song came on and the reaction has been so fierce and so, not aggressive, but so it's so clear that songs like this can't be played without meeting genuine power in the world. Don't you think, to somebody who is completely detached from this situation, somebody at home who has nothing to do with this situation, watches it and sits and goes, see, they are in charge of everything? I'm asking.
I'm going to get very, very, very good point. And I think this is when they take the gloves off and they take their drawers off and it gets to breaking. This is when Adam turns into superstar David Mann, and he puts his cape on. This is when he gets triggered.
This is by the way, I'm so grateful we're having this conversation because the world needs to see this.
Yeah.
If this was played in any other city, Tate, you would not see this reaction.
Got it.
Can I explain something?
Sure.
Miami Beach, they don't play this game, dog.
You shut the hell up. Bro, they're not tough people. They're going to need another black person like Tate to enforce anything they're saying. They nobody give a damn about. Nobody's scared of a bunch of fucking Jays from Miami. This is not, bro. I can see if he said, you can play this anywhere else you want, but you can't play it in Tel Aviv. Okay, that's your homeland. But this is America. This is Miami. Rick Ross is where we can play whatever the hell we want. Uncle Luke used to play here. Bro, Adam, shut the hell up, bro. I'm telling you, this is why this conversation is ridiculous. And at this point, it just becomes a comedy fest. But it's like a gay porn / comedy. So it's like a rom-com with a bunch of gays. Like, that's where this becomes now at this point.
Well,
you're not going to Mamdani Miami.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
But
yes, Miami will be Mondami'd soon enough. Don't count your horses don't count your chickens too early there, Adam.
By the way, Stephen Miner, the mayor, Joe Magazine, David Suarez.
Remember, Kenny Powers famously called New York Jew York. Eastbound and Down was only about 10 years ago? Life comes at you fast, like on that commercial, bro. Relax.
You have a Jew and an Italian and a Cuban walk into a nightclub and they say, we don't play this game, homie. We see what's going on in the world, and every Jew, every capitalist, every billionaire leaving California, leaving New York, they're like, where can we go? You know how Governor DeSantis said, Florida's where woke goes to die.
Good friend of mine.
Your boy. Florida is where woke goes to die. Well, you know what? Miami is where racism goes to die. And by the way, I'm an equal opportunity employer when it comes to racism.
Yep.
Stand-up comedian, former stand-up comedian.
Yep.
One day PBD is going to get his shot. We know about that. And I would say this. It's not racist if you make fun of everybody. Anybody can get it.
So I'm clear.
We got a black guy there. We got an Italian guy there.
So I'm clear.
We got a gay guy there. I don't know. Nick Fuentes, gay, whatever it is. But it's only bad when you single out one group.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the challenge that you're going to happen. So all these guys.
Bro, again, we all listen to rap music every day. Unfortunately, besides blacks, there's nobody else that's making music, making fun of or threatening to kill anybody. It's only blacks. So you're not going to find Asians making that kind of music, Hispanics. You're not going to find anybody else. So you're going to have to depend on, it's only going to be a black person who's going to make a song like Kanye West did. And it's only going to be a black person who makes songs about genociding other blacks. The fact that you're pretending it needs to be equal opportunity, knowing that there's not even a market for that, this is absurd. It doesn't make any sense. It's not adding up. You could be an equal opportunity racist because you don't have to like anybody. This is America. I can specifically not like certain people if I want to. That's my right. And I can choose to not deal with certain people if I want to. All this force to deal with certain people, that's bullshit. And that's not what the framework of this country was intended for to begin with. So his whole argument really just falls apart when you start to break down this slop that he's saying.
That basically own the clubs, run the city. It's not just Jews. Cubans, Venezuelans, Jamaicans, Haitians. Yeah. It's one big melting pot, Miami. And the universal truth in Miami is don't bring that BS here.
Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video, help me get pushed into the algorithm. I thank you all for being here always. Thank you guys all.
I'll explain why, and then I want to hear your perspective. Obviously, Jews have fled anti-Semitism, came to Miami. Mm-hmm. Half of South America, looking in the room here, fled communism, socialism, comes to Miami. Mm-hmm. Haitians flee corruption, come to Miami. Italians flee fascism, come to Miami. The reason that Miami is that city is because they all know what the rest of the world looks like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We all fled those different countries and those different institutions just to come to a city in the United States where there's one group that does all of those different things to everyone, and in a failed attempt to subjugate us all tenfold. So everything that we left in these other countries, Adam and his group embody all of those combined times 10. That's why they're not going to last for much longer. Not even in Miami. They lost New York, so they're going to lose Miami too. They lost LA. That's all they have left is Miami. So
that's why you're getting this reaction. Any other city, you're not going to get this. Okay.
I think you've lived in a bubble where you think Miami's the only place. Thank God you lived in Addison for a year and a couple other places. I think this is bigger than that to me. And by the way, I'd like to go to the next topic. Let's do a couple other things on this and let's move on to the next.
He wants to go to the next topic, but yet there's actually another half an hour on this topic that they spend. I'm going to try to fast forward it.
So you don't have, of course, but I have all these charges, and I have the potential to have a brand new image, and I'm one of the best, most well-known people on the planet.
I cannot believe you did this. I had Netanyahu. I was the only podcast that we had Netanyahu and Nick Fuentes on within 30 days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay, and by the way, when we had Nick on, Shapiro canceled.
Yeah.
Literally a week later, he canceled. He was supposed to be on the podcast 2 weeks later. And we knew when this was going to happen. I told the team. The only thing for me is I get to choose the standards of where I go out to. Like here, guess what? This is our club. There is no phones here. I don't like phones here.
They're still talking about the club. And I fast forwarded this almost 10 minutes. They're still talking about the club. Watch. Look, keep going. Watch.
Screen. And guess who's sitting right next to him? Dana White. And Dana goes like this. He's got a Miami Hurricanes shirt on. You belong in that room.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where you belong. To me, when I watch you with the way you communicate, it's going this way. You know, that's the part. And I watch these guys. I was one of them. Even when I had Nick on, I'm like, listen, he was 18 years old when he said some of this stuff. You got to be held accountable for it, but we have to give a chance for people to.
What do you mean I got to be held accountable for my words? What the hell does that mean? You want to hold me accountable for my opinions? Fuck you. My opinions are mine. I can think what I want to think based on my life experience. You do not get to tell me I'm going to be held accountable for my thoughts. What the fuck are we doing here? There's no way this needs to be this needs to be mainstream. This does not need to be what we need to hear. This is going in the opposite direction of America first in our Constitution. This is literally pissing on it. Being held accountable. You want Nick Fuentes to be held accountable for his opinions when he was 18 years old? Even if he was 50, what the fuck? I can think what I want. And this is where I say men are so weak. Everyone's so afraid to get into a conflict. Everyone's so afraid of nobody liking them. Maybe just I'm used to it. Maybe no one's liked me in so long. And I'm just used to it. Other people are they're deathly afraid of other people's opinions. I just don't give a damn. No one's liked me in a long time. Girls like me. Only the girls I date. And only until I tell them no about something, then they don't like me. So I'm just used to people not liking me long term. I'm used to it. Maybe everybody else is just used to everybody's being happy with them. I'm a man. No one's ever really happy with us indefinitely anyway. Women and children get indefinite happiness. Men don't.
Create themselves. It comes to us. It comes to what, Tate's decision is what to do next. And I know, I'm not here to say what you said about Israel, all this other stuff, because you didn't. I totally
understand the point.
And I fast forwarded it another 5 minutes. He's still talking about it. He said he wanted to change the subject. PBD did not change the subject. Andrew should be exhausted talking about the same thing. It's a circular conversation at this point. That's why I keep fast forwarding it. No matter where I go in the future on this clip, it's all the same slop.
Point you're making. Totally. Myron's an amazing friend of mine. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he says and does, but he's an amazing friend of mine. He's rode for me when I got in a lot of trouble. I've known him for a very long time. The other two I had never met before. Nick, I believe, had never been to a club before.
Yeah.
If you watch the entire stream, it's a long conversation about me saying, I don't want to go to a club. But Nick's never been to a club before. It's Nick's
literally never been to a club.
Nick's first ever time.
Bro, you should not be explaining this. What's all, bro, it is what it is at this point. What the hell is happening? What's happening to the men? Where are the men?
Nick's first ever. I didn't know about you.
No,
better than this.
No, I'm saying this.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
I'm saying that
I'm saying what's his.
Yes.
He belongs and this is a conversation we had 3 years.
Now they're trying to convince Andrew Tate that he's too good for those guys. He's too good for Myron and Sneeko and Nick. The only people that supported him, even more fervor than I did when he was in prison, because I was literally fighting with people on the internet, on Instagram, about Andrew Tate and his brother, going over the facts. I wasn't at the point where I'm doing videos like right now. I wasn't sitting up here talking to a camera. I had other stuff going on. I was partying and whatever. But I saw him being railroaded in Romania, didn't like it because of his political views. So I spoke out against it on Instagram a lot. To watch, like, this is
2 years ago when,
they want him to turn against his only real friends. Myron's not going to ask Andrew for any money. Sneeko's not going to beg him. Nick Fuentes not going to ask him for nothing. They were just like, oh, you're in town? Let's go hang out. We got our own motion. We don't need you for anything. You want it, guys? If you guys are cool. These are legit, genuine friends. And PBD Podcast is trying to turn Tate against them and say, oh, you belong in a room with Dana White and Trump. And bro, Andrew Tate, you're like half their age. What are you going to talk to them about? They're not your peers. Your peers are the guys you were hanging out with. They're the guys who are going to say the things you don't want. These other people are going to act like they got to distance themselves from you every week. Why don't you hang out with the people that are going to love you and be your friends no matter what the hell you do? See, my genuine real friends, the real people that I deal with, no matter what happens, they fuck with me. They like me. And it's really just a couple of relatives, and because they're stuck with me. And we've been through some things and they're still here. But other than that, bro, these other people, you're too good for these guys. How are you going to tell me I'm too good for my actual friends? And it's just, look at this divide and conquer. This just smells like I can smell the menorah. I can smell the dreidel of this conversation. Just divide and conquer.
That's between he and I. But I'm saying he belongs in a bigger room.
I fully agree with you.
What to do to get into those rooms,
And
because impact can be bigger. And by the way,
yeah.
I invite, and I want you to finish your thought, because I think what you're saying is, if you come into Miami, call me. I'm going to be a better host. I know the good places. I know. And by the way, as much as I'm teasing you, I'm agreeing with you, because you know the places in Miami. And the guys, you're connected with everybody.
So I'm supposed to want to go hang around a bunch of fucking Jays, a bunch of wannabe cool Jays that I have to watch my words, be tiptoe around on eggshells. They might ban me from everything. You tell every one of them to go fuck themselves. Ban me. What are you suggesting? That I walk into a minefield wearing Timberland boots? That's your suggestion? Call me. I'm a better host. Bro, does it get any gayer than that? I don't think so. That's like peak gay for this episode. I'm a better host than Myron. I have more connections. I have a better club. It's the same overpriced liquor no matter what club you go to. It's the same 21 to 23-year-old bimbos hoping that you have a yacht that are going to ask you for $1,500 if they come back to your hotel after, and you might catch a case and you might not, depending on how she feels as she wakes up in the morning and if you live stream the entire night. But you're going to host me in Miami. Like Miami is just the end all be all. Like Miami's fucking like, it's just heaven. And you're the guy at the door to let me in. Please, audience, does it get any more ridiculous than this? Bro, I'm happier sitting here at home talking shit on a microphone, hanging out with my guys, 2nd Battalion, and my other friends in the chat. I'm better off here than having to grovel to a bunch of people wearing fucking, what is it called? Those little fucking hats. And I got to kiss their ass so I can get into their club and their social group. Fuck your club. Fuck your social group. That's the thing. You never want to get used to being on the inside, because people can always threaten with putting you out to get you in line. Like I always say, you can't miss what you never have. So just don't get too used to it. Just don't.
All I'm saying is a very different message. Yeah. My message is, what's the next room to get into and solve for that. That's all it is. And by the way, you know what's crazy about it? Myron Games, I invited him over to the office 6 months ago. This is a meeting Myron and I had. It's no one's business. Myron knows what conversation I had with him. I sat him down. I said, Myron, you know, he came with his dog. It was so funny. Everyone's like, why is there a dog?
Yeah, I've never seen that place either. But I would assume there's signs on the door that literally there's like a picture of me. You know, when you shoplift at Walmart, they got your picture on the wall. There's got to be a picture saying, don't let this guy in this place. Because look, I don't want to go to your place. I don't, bro. I'll go sit at a bar in a hotel lobby. I like dive bars. I don't want to be in your, I'm from LA. I used to be a part of these social circles. I don't even want to be a part of it no more. I stopped going out in Hollywood. I started doing everything in downtown because I wanted to get out of them circles. I can't believe people are literally letting other men shame them and hold access in their face as what their reward for being good little puppies. Like, bro, this is ridiculous. We should be embarrassed by men if we let other men do this to us. If women do it with vagina, they dangle it in your face and you take the bait and you cuck or grovel to that, you should be ashamed. And any self-respecting man should be ashamed that they let this and threats like this move them. You should be ashamed.
Dog in the office. I said, I don't know. He walks with a dog. It's okay. Bring the dog. And I sat him and I said, you know how great of a communicator you are? You would make such a better point if you chose to do XYZ.
Bro, nobody goes to clubs anymore. Clubs are dead. My good friend, he works at one. Every now and again, I'll go with him just to, see if there's any new chicks that I don't already know. Newsflash, everyone else there already knows them. Nobody goes anymore. They're dying out. Just because men, we figured out we're being scammed. Think about it. The same bottle that I'm paying $400 plus tax for in the club, when I go to Bevmo, is on sale for $39.99. Okay, if I buy two, I get them for $34. How do you explain two of those bottles in the club is $1,000? But at Bev, and I'm supposed to be like, I'm just so rich, so I'm buying all this. You should want to sleep with me. That's the entire message. Yeah, I'll pass, bro. I'll pass.
This was the conversation we had with Myron because I see him as such a talent. Same thing with Nick. I think you are
one of my most viral videos ever is on my TikTok, on the single boyfriend TikTok, and it's about clubs dying. That video did like 100 and something thousand. That was like my first video to go viral on TikTok. It was about how dead the clubs are.
Leader of this crew, and everyone knows it.
Yep.
You're the leader of all of these guys. They all follow your lead. And by the way,
to call Tate their leader is disrespectful. Tate's not their leader. Tate's another personality. People like Tate. It's like they like everybody else's individual personality. He's nobody's leader. He's not giving them orders, telling anybody what to do. No one does what Tate says. That's not what it's all divide and conquer. And I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't work, but maybe it does.
I even saw a clip. I think the Nicholas guy was calling you out in a clip a few weeks ago. I can't believe
Nick
Sneeko? Yeah, Sneeko. He was calling you out at a couple things.
Sneeko does loads of clips insulting me all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely understand what you're saying.
But that's okay. I just think they're supposed to do that because.
And you know what's crazy? They're literally sitting here for an hour talking to one of the most Googled famous men in the world about his friends who are influencers. And he's literally just promoting the influencer. He said the word Sneeko 10 times. So did Adam. They both said Myron. They both talked about Nick Fuentes. So it's like they're promoting these guys while at the same time like Dirty Mac and them because, we're all in Miami. Like they're in like the only city in the world. Like Miami's just a city. It's not even the best. Okay. I'd prefer Cartagena over Miami any day. Name a day of the week. I prefer Cartagena, and nobody speaks English and nobody knows who any of us are. Like, this is ridiculous. And that's your claim to fame is you have access in Miami. Get the hell out of here. Come on, PBD. Come on, bro.
If the leader at the top chooses to go here, these guys have to choose to lead. And those who don't follow his lead, they bash him. It's a very normal.
Two stupid decisions. We're moving on from that. Here's what I do want to say. 24 hours later, this is so funny. I'm getting calls.
Thought we're moving on from that, Adam. Nobody should be calling you about another grown man that's gay.
From all these guys, I come over to Eric's house. I'm having for dinner the leftovers from the night before from Prime 1. You hungry? Yeah, whatever.
So what is he? Everybody's handler? So Adam's the designated handler for everybody on these. So he's the local J, but he's also their handler. So that's why else would you be calling Adam?
Your food. Typical Jews. They're like, you want a drink? I'm drinking.
See what I said? Vinny didn't really say much since the beginning. So I kind of like Vinny. Shut the hell up.
Dylan to bed. I tell the mayor, hey, I got to talk to Pat.
You are a leader, and they are like looking up to you. So it's not like
think a 20-year-old
you're choosing to be like, yo, I'm in charge of you guys.
This kid shouldn't be in the club. He's 20. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
He's meeting you for the first time. You're his idol.
I understand the point you're making. And you know what? Sneeko has insulted me endless times, especially across the last 4 years. I haven't seen him in years and years and years. But maybe it's the man code in me. He's insulted me so many times, and I could sit here and throw him under the bus, but it's just not who I am as a person. I want to meet Nick and Clav. It's Clav.
They're trying their hardest to break Andrew, but you know what? He's sticking to the script. He's sticking to the code. So good job for that, Andrew.
And Nick, who reached out to me, you're in America. We've never met before. Come through. We're with Sneeko. Is that okay? My reply was, Sneeko always has some crybaby issue with me. If he's not going to cry his eyes out, he can come. And he came along and he made a fucking mess. And I could sit here and blame it all on him. But that's truthfully not. I don't know. That just feels wrong to me. I'm not going to sit here and say, Tori, if I put on a song that's going to get you guys literally in trouble and put you on the news, then I guess that's on me. Yeah. I obviously speak English. I know what the song says. I know what the song means, of course.
He goes, this is at 5 p.m. Yeah. What I do, bro, I just woke up. I didn't respond. Good luck. I don't communicate with Sneeko. I dap him up if I see him at an Aiden Ross event or whatever. Nick Fuentes.
Well, Sneeko will be insulting me again by next week. That's what Sneeko does.
Bro, somebody should really, when they see Adam, just fucking just check him. Just literally check him because he thinks he's a little too big for his britches. I mean, just the way he's as condescending as he is in his conversation about these other adult men, it's like he's pretending that he's somebody that he's not. Like he's like not just that he's bigger than the program, but he's the administrator. Like he's their handler. You are not anyone's nothing. Someone really needs to put him in his place.
Back and forth.
But that,
Okay, whatever.
let's not do this. Because I'll round down to 44.
All right. So let's just say you're in your mid.
Oh, they brought up his age, and now Adam's like 45 or 50 or something.
Mid-40s, right?
Fair.
Okay. All right. You're in mid-40s, 46. Let's just say you're in your mid-40s. Okay.
But next thing you know, it'll be 65.
Yeah, Nicholas guy. I've never met him. Good-looking guy, well-spoken. Intensity. I don't know his background.
That were here.
Of course.
There's a person on my list. This conversation right in the car.
I
see the bruise.
I feel
it. Even though he put the song on, I just don't think it's prudent.
Bro, I'm so tired of hearing about this fucking great song. Heil Hitler by Kanye. Look, whatever you do, don't let anyone play with you like this in your face. Don't do it. See, you have to look at women like an investment because that's how they view you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. See, you'll be in love, but she's in business. So you look at her one way, she'll look at you as a way out. So it's different. It's very different. Yeah, it does suck. I agree. But listen, whatever you do, never let any other men think they can control you and run you and beat you down with their opinions of you. Never, especially when you're somebody like Andrew Tate. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, share the video. I'm going to be back on with another topic in about 20 minutes. Remember, it's America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.